Oh boy, it's everyone's favoriteest game.
Do it.
Do it. Come on.
Do it.
Come on. Start an assist
Do
mode.
it. No,
Pussy.
wuss.
I don't need the help. I've been playing Mario games for 25 years. Speaking of, this is actually my first playthrough of the game. This was a bit of an experiment for me, as far as recording goes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're trying to get those world first views and clicks.
Too bad we uploaded this video 6 months late. Oops.
No, this was just an experiment for me to see exactly how well I understand and kind of know what the developers are trying to do with the Mario game, because I've been doing it for so long, as I've said. So this was just curiosity on my end.
We're going to be seeing your fresh gameplay.
Yes.
That's good.
There's one thing this cutscene has taught me though. The Mario Maker 8-bit airship theme that they brought in for Mario 1 sounds really good when it's working.
Wait, that's the Mario Maker 8-bit. Oh my god. I need to.
I'm sorry. I just can't get over Bowser pulling an odd job on Mario.
You're banned in multiplayer.
I think it's really apparent that when he takes off in the ship with Peach.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna need to crank up my volume and listen. Oh man, the levels of fan service this game goes to is like wow. Now, oh, I hear it now. There we go. Oh my god. Oh, best game ever. 10 out of 10. I mean, okay, you see, I'm joking there, but that actually kind of was the discussion for a long time. It's like, oh, which is the most game of the year game? Is it Mario or Zelda? And the answer is you can like both. Dumbasses.
Well, it's Mario, Zelda, is it Mario, Zelda, Horizon,
coward.
or Persona 5, according to basically most outlets.
Although, looking at it as objectively as I can, I will say that I find that Mario Odyssey does more stuff in an original way compared to Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild does a lot of stuff, but you can compare that to other open world games before.
That's the thing about Breath of the Wild. It's like it's unique for Nintendo people, but open world games have been doing a lot of that stuff for a while now.
It's mostly unique in the sense that it's being presented through Zelda gameplay. It's in the context and the design mentality of a Zelda game, which does give it a very, very, very unique flavor for that type of game, but it's not doing a whole lot of new stuff.
Which is weird, because part of why Mario Odyssey feels so fresh is that we haven't had any major 3D platformers in this style in a long time. The last
there was
collective
Ukulele in a Hat in Time,
and that's basically it. Yeah, and A Hat of Time wasn't even officially out before Odyssey.
I think there have been a few smaller indie titles in that style in recent years, but it's hard for me to count them as being in the same league.
And even then, it's probably not of this scale.
Yeah, and the thing that sets Odyssey apart from those things is that it's not just an imitation of that style. It's trying to take that style and moving it forward. Because there's a lot of talk around Ukulele and the like that, hey, this was a style of gameplay that was abandoned for a reason. It's archaic, yada yada yada. No, it's only archaic in the sense that it hasn't evolved since the last time developers have seriously put work into trying it.
Yeah, just saying that is discouraging people to not give it a shot to evolve it or other shit.
Because people clearly miss that type of game for sure.
Yeah, and I in another commentary, I forget which one, I brought the same argument up in reference to Resident Evil 7 and Dune 2016. They're both in a pretty old school style when you boil it down, just with modernized elements, and it works really well. You can do a lot with that kind of thing when you're designing a game. You just gotta figure out how to take that style and move it forward.
So the only thing I can think of when watching that cutscene is a fan edit I've seen where it's Cappy and he says, "None of this is good, Mario face." That's why it's called War. Because fun fact, Sonic Forces came out like a week after Mario Odyssey, and damn,
boy, was that a bad move on Sega's part.
Damn, that was a dumb idea.
Listen, I don't know. Maybe they're trying to spark those console wars again.
Yeah, well, then they're doing a really bad job.
Yeah, I know.
They need to design a better game to make that work.
It's night and day, and it's not even Sonic.
That's not Sonic, at least. Yeah. Speaking of night and day, oh god, what am I doing in Tim Burton's game design? visual motifs.
I was going to say we're in Tim Burton land. You
There's
stole my
even
joke
there's
before
even
I
all the
had a chance to
stupid
say
hat. There's even stupid hats. You can get sooty from the. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh yeah, I never noticed that before.
But yeah, it's Tim Burton. All the blacks and whites combined with some occasional gray and all the wavy outlines and stuff. It's like,
No.
God damn it.
No Johnny Depp though. Not the same.
Johnny
Or
Depp
Helena
as
Bonham
Super
Carter.
Mario.
Yeah, Johnny Depp is Super Mario and Helena Bonham Carter is Peach.
It's Peach.
What about the Curly Hill from Nightmare Before Christmas?
I was
Is there a name for that?
honestly, I was half expecting that to like be in the background somewhere.
It's an interesting
Yeah, it
first
does really
world to
strike
start out
similarities.
on, and at first I thought this was just going to be tutorial world and we never see it again. Now you can come back here and do some stuff. It's just
Well, I
not a
mean-
huge world.
I mean, that's such a good thing about why it's the first world, quote unquote, though, because it's the Green Hill problem. We are so used to and so sick of the standard sunny, grassy hill where nothing's really different.
Well, I mean, we're gonna get that pretty soon anyway.
Well, Fossil
but
Falls
the fact
is
that it's-
also, I think,
At least has a little bit of its own visual identity compared
Yeah.
to others, but
I mean, it's less grassy hills and more mountains and waterfalls
and dinosaurs. Yeah, I love dinosaurs.
the mountain has grass on it.
Yeah.
but this tells you right off the bat this isn't your normal Mario game.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
and it does
which
is
very
important.
well.
Am I the only one who tried to turn on all the lights and all in order to
I did.
thinking there would be a moon
I did,
for doing
I did
that?
too.
And
I
I
was
think-
disappointed to learn there wasn't anything.
I
there.
think it's important for them to establish that tone at the beginning because our last big 3D Mario games were the Galaxy games. You know, the games.
No,
that
technically
place-
3D worlds.
3D
It's-
space, 3D World, yeah, but that was a different style and
Nobody cares.
everything in that game. No, I don't want to say nobody cares. It's good that we have like at least one console game in that style, and yeah, I know we had Mario Land, but it's a much more compact game. It's good that we have one console game in that style because now we have a clear idea of what 2D Mario would play like in 3D if they had gone with that design mentality from the beginning. They didn't, so we didn't have that until now. So I'm glad we've got that. I don't necessarily want to stick to it. Like, I wouldn't complain if they made more games like that, but it's a design angle that has a certain limit to its potential.
I think that if they do go that route, they need to make it more like Galaxy, not in the sense that it's gravity-based, but they need to give it some kind of other mechanic to make it have its own identity, because I think we're all sick of the basic Mario at this point. I think we need to wait a decent amount
We
of
love
time.
Mario 3.
I think we need to wait a decent amount of time before we get any kind of new Super Mario. Well, okay, I
It's
say
a Kirby
This
problem.
is
I say
the
that I say that.
craziest fucking thing.
I say that, but New Super Mario Bros. U came out like when? 2012. So that's a good
2012.
6 years, and I'm still sick. I'm still sick. of
Bud,
it.
fly, zer.
Well, I wouldn't go so far as to
Odyssey.
say sick of basic Mario. There is an inherent problem in that basic Mario, let's say, is kind of just the bread and butter of platforming. So when there's too many games in that style in a row, it does kind of feel really played out. But that's gonna whether or not that's a your mileage may vary question. My problem, well, not so much problem, but my word of caution to Nintendo as far as basic Mario goes is that, and I don't necessarily think Miyamoto needs to be told this, but because he's good about it, But there was a time there when Nintendo was in a bad place where they weren't putting out too many of their franchises and they were leaning too heavily on Mario, and Mario was leaning too heavily on the basics, and it got a little ridiculous. I'd
Yeah,
rather-
You
I
mean
would
how there were
say-
2 new Super Mario Brothers games released in the same 4-month period?
I want to say the Wii U era was the most stagnant of the Mario series.
Yeah, and I think that's a large part of why people tend.
Which is so bizarre because even a stagnant Mario game is fundamentally a solid game, but it's like thematically I'm sick of
You
it.
see, it's not exactly fair, but when you're the most famous video game character of all time, you hold your series to a higher standard. Basically,
Yeah,
is what's going
it's just,
on.
I think a large part of the reason why people were cynical about 3D World was more the context of when it was released than any quality it had as a game.
So Ryan, I like how you went backwards immediately, and I think there is a moon there, but not until you come back later. So yeah.
So, there is one thing that I'm a little confused about, insofar as this game's story. What is with the rabbit people?
It's
Oh,
okay.
the Brutals.
Yeah, so like moons are a big thing in this game. Like thematically, power moons. There's moon imagery all over the place. There's the Japanese myth about rabbits living on the moon. So
Yeah,
that's
the
where
rabbit on the moon.
yeah, so that's
Is
where
that-
that comes from, basically.
Is that why we had to chase rabbits in Galaxy?
Yes,
Yes.
that is why we had to
Jesus
chase.
fucking
That-
Christ.
That's also why Usagi in Sailor Moon is named Usagi.
Right.
What is
just
Usagi
like-
rabbit?
Usagi is a rabbit. Yes.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
there's these rabbits who are stand-ins for the fucking Koopalings this time around.
Well, I mean, at least it's not
And-
the Koopalings.
Yeah,
Well, I know. It's just like if you're gonna replace the Koopalings, I don't know. I just like to see some sort of reasoning for it. And I guess
They're
the reasoning just flew over
they're the
my head
bridal
because-
planners. That's their reasoning.
I guess the reasoning just flew over my head because the cultural differences and all of that.
Oh no, Mario's after me! Lucky Charms.
These bosses aren't terrible, but they're far from the highlight of the game.
I think the world bosses are far more fun than the Brutals, personally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the world bosses are actually pretty fun, which is surprising, because most of the time Mario bosses are...
The bosses are often the low light of any given Mario game.
Well,
Pretty
yeah.
much.
You know, I thought the Galaxy games had some pretty fine bosses, not like amazing bosses, but I enjoyed fighting them most of the time. The Brutals have that 3D world feeling to them. They felt like the 3D
Yeah,
world.
they're
bosses.
this game's boom booms or
Yeah, but at
Yes,
least there's 4 of them and
Koopas.
not 2. So, that helps.
Yeah.
boom boom, bam bam, bim bim,
Bomb
bomb
bomb.
bomb, I guess.
Also,
Which well, no, that's kind of really similar to bomb, so we don't want to have copyright infringement.
you want to know the game that this game reminded me of most, insofar as the context.
Mario
for...
64.
No, insofar as I wasn't finished. The context of moving from level to level, Ratchet and Clank.
Well, you have a spaceship, yeah.
You know what? I've
Yeah.
never even played that, but I get what you mean, yeah. Because it's like... there's a progression. It's a surprisingly linear game if you're not looking for stuff. Is the
Well,
thing.
it's not necessarily about progression. The level designs in Ratchet and Clank are more like you have 3 or 2 hallways, and you go down each hallway in sequence and get whatever there is to get. It's more like a Gex level than a Mario level in Ratchet and Clank. But the context, the framework of going from place to place in Ratchet and Clank is you have this spaceship. Well, you get a spaceship, you acquire one, and then you're traveling from world to world, and you learn a bit about each world as you travel through it. More specifically in 1, that element sort of died down over the course of the series, but it feels like a grand adventure, a grand space adventure in Ratchet's case. In this game, it's more like a Final Fantasy airship adventure.
Oh,
but,
man. Speaking of that, this music is goddamn fucking amazing. I love it.
All the music in this game is amazing.
Yeah.
All the game and the music is amazing. People have their favorites. As boring as it sounds, Fossil Falls is my favorite.
Fossil Fall. You see, Steam Gardens is clearly
Well,
MVP.
Yes, Steam Gardens
Well-
is fantastic.
It took Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2 a few stages to get to their Gusty Garden Galaxy themes.
Oh no,
This one
I love
busts-
good
Yeah,
a Galaxy in Galaxy.
Oh yeah,
1.
yeah, but the highlight of the soundtrack that everyone really loves is Gusty Garden, Fluffy Bluff, and in this one, it's the first fucking proper level that has that theme to it. It's great.
It's actually
Fossil Falls is amazing.
it surprised me how long it took to get to New Donk City as well, because that was the
Yeah.
level they hyped up the most in the pre-release.
We'll get into New Donk eventually.
Oh, but that was masterful marketing, and I'll tell you why. Because the entire fucking game, you're wondering, okay, when are we gonna get to New Donk? That's gonna be amazing. And then every level that's not, you're like, oh, this isn't New Donk. It's not gonna be all that great. But then you play it, and it's great. And then when you finally get to New Donk City, it's better. And it's like all the build-up was worth it.
Ryan doesn't like fun, is what he's saying.
I'll get into why I don't like New Donk when we get to it.
Okay.
I love New
Not
Donk
that
City.
I hate. Here's the thing. I don't hate New Donk City. I just think it's the weakest kingdom in the game. Not counting not counting boss ones, of course.
Well, we'll get to the boss levels eventually, but oh my god. You see, here's the thing, I love the captures, but seeing some of the Mario enemies with the blue eyes is really, really weird.
I think that's the point. They played up the whole demonic cat possession thing in the first scene where you possess the toad, and it's freaking trippy as hell, man.
So
Can Mario capture himself?
Maybe that's what's been happening the whole game.
Did Mario capture Luigi?
actually, no,
I mean,
because
he already lives in his house.
no, because he's in the game now, and you throw your hat at him, he just goes Mario. What the hell?
Horror story fanfiction / Mario.exe idea. Luigi captures Mario.
Only on ESPN.